Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. My name is Steve, otherwise known as Pin, and today we're going to take a look at Drake's Cutlass Red. I am quickly becoming fond of this. I really haven't tried to dabble in medical gameplay all that much, but since I picked up this ship I've been having some mixed experiences with it. Although this ship, I have to admit, I'm having an absolute blast in it, and I think it's partly because my journey started with the Aurora and then quickly followed by the Cutlass Black, and it still brings back that nostalgia for me. The Cuttys, they're great ships, so it did put a smile on my face entering this ship for the first time because it was just a pure nostalgia. It's a fantastic ship and it has a lot to offer. Unfortunately, recently it's had its beds nerfed. You can no longer spawn in this ship. However, I have had bags and tons of success using this ship clearing bunkers, because it will heal you where the med gun won't, and it also rehydrates you and fills your stomach, so you're not always starving to death and thirsty to death every 2 bloody minutes. So that's a very good plus in my eyes. It is very unique in the sense that it is the only ship in game at the moment tailored towards medical gameplay. Until the Apollo arrives, this is the ship to do it in. Now you could argue, well, the Carrack, yes, it's almost certainly the Carrack. You can also respawn in the Carrack's beds. However, traversing the verse in a big old ship like that takes a lot of time and effort, and we needed a dedicated ship. So I'm glad I've got the Cutlass Red. It's opened up a new game loop for me. I'm still having minor success and minor bugs at the same time, and rescue beacons being cancelled, which is infuriating. So there are aspects of the medical gameplay I feel need tweaking, but this ship is almost certainly the go-to for medical gameplay and bunker missions, as previously stated. So it is a very good ship. I am enjoying it immensely, much more than I originally thought I would. The Drake Cutlass Red, also known as DCR-2, is an emergency response and support ship with a comprehensive medical bay, long-range radar capabilities, and a suite of defensive options. More than just a top-flight emergency responder, the Cutlass Red is a highly regarded support vessel for hazardous combat, recon and exploration. With the ability to revive fallen squad mates and a full onboard auto dock, a single visit to the med bay will ensure you will always be pulled back from the brink of death. The difference of a few minutes can have a profound impact on the lives of people. That's why, when faced with an emergency or rescue situation, you need a ship you can depend upon to get you to where you need to be, regardless of the location or the challenge you face. The Red delivers the performance and reliability you need to control any rescue situation quickly, with authority and confidence. Okay, let's talk about some of the basics regarding the ship's stats. Okay, so it has a 2-man crew. You can buy the ship in-game for 1,810,500 Alpha UEC, has a length of 37.5 meters, a beam of 26.5, a height of 11.5, combat speed is 183 meters per second, max speed 1,198 meters per second, and a mass of 226,700 kilograms. Its introduction was in 2845, 107 years ago, again depending on when you're watching this video. Okay, so let's now talk about features found on board the ship. So we have a medical bay. With a fully equipped medical bay, a single visit affords you the convenience of awakening there from there on, should you flatline in the field. In addition, any injuries too severe for a medban can be healed quickly and effectively in its auto dock. Secure sides and airlocks. Easy access to the medical bay on both sides of the ship allows for quick delivery of injured patients. It also comes equipped with a NAV E7 Echo scanner, long-range radar capabilities to enhance search and rescue operations. It also has a shore grip tractor mount, a rear-orientated tractor mount to add valuable assistance for recovery and retrieval missions. Cargo. The Cutlass Red has the capability of carrying up to 12 SCU of cargo within its hold, as well as 12,000 SCU of internal storage. Thanks to its rear ramp, the ship can carry small ground vehicles like a mule or a PTV. Crew area. Despite Drake's reputation of providing only the essentials, the Cutlass still has a spacious crew area, which includes a pair of beds, a small kitchenette, 2 500k SEU storage lockers, and gun racks. Now this ship does also come equipped with 4 size 2 Badger repeaters, and they are gimbaled, which is nice. They still put out a significant amount of DPS. You'll also notice on top of the nav dish there is a searchlight that will become super useful once we can get that working. I can't see how that wouldn't be a good addition to find maybe casualties or potential victims laying strewn across various cave systems that we're getting in the future. Now it is powered by these massive engines, and they are fairly responsive. Now the problem with this ship is not the engines, it's the fact that it's about as aerodynamic as a brick, and in atmosphere it doesn't handle all that nicely. As we have, is that security? Just, can I help you, sir? Well, who is this guy? He's got a wing missing. Do you need medical attention? Because if you do, you've come to the right place. Is that why you're pestering me right now? He's definitely missing a wing, isn't he? Yeah, he is. Does he know he's missing? Look, if you want help, hail me, man. You know, I'm not a mind reader. Okay? Come on board. We'll fix you up. I'll send you on your way. All free of charge. Anyway, as I was saying, so this ship, it isn't particularly brilliant in atmosphere, okay? It's a little bit cumbersome. That doesn't mean it can't handle itself. It can, and don't be fooled by the 4 size 2s. They put out a significant amount of DPS. So in atmosphere, not really the most maneuverable ship. I mean, look at the shape of it. Of course it isn't going to be, but it will get you where you need to go. It's rugged. I've noticed when the shields go down, things fall off of this Cutlass rather easily rather than the ship blows up. So it's actually surprisingly tanky, which is a plus, right? Internally, I've always been a fan of the Drake cockpit system. This is a very, very nice taste of what I expect the Corsair to end up looking like. It's a double stack system, pilot at the front. He has plenty of room in there. It's not as tight as some of the other cockpits that you'll be familiar with. The MFDs are nicely laid out in front of you. There's no conflict there. They're all right in your face. It's very easy to read. The same in the co-pilot station, whose seat is located behind you. Very nicely thought out. You sit in the seat, both seats raise, if you're in it, of course, as you can see here. I like that system, and I do feel that this, from the images we saw of the Corsair would be, if not identical to this. So I like it. It's a very spacious, roomy cockpit. It's not something you find too often. Plenty of room to get in and out, and it has to be for 2 players. So that's a huge plus in my book. Now it is very useful that this ship is tanky, and it needs to be, because you never know what environment your patients are going to find themselves in, and you could be dragged across the verse to various systems, planets, etc., where you don't know where you're going, and you're going to want a sturdy ship that can take some amount of damage. Now, armor isn't in the game yet, but when it does, that might affect the Cutlass Red, because Drakes don't believe in armor. So once their shields are gone, you will melt very quickly. But in terms of ruggedness for particular weather situations, depending on the planet, moon, or vice versa, the Cutlass Red is almost certainly going to be able to handle itself. You know, the VTOL on the ship is an excellent addition, making landing a little bit easier for weather situations like this. Now obviously the searchlight doesn't work at the moment, which is a shame, because I think that will become super useful for any people that are exploring those caves. Maybe you can land at a cave entrance and point that light right down in there so you can see what's going on. Any search and rescue operator will tell you how important a searchlight is, so I can't wait to get that up and running. So it's a very rugged ship. It will get you to where you want to go. It will be a little bit tricky to navigate in atmosphere, but once you're down, it's sturdy, and you're there, and you're healing people, which is pretty cool. Now, in terms of my experience with medical gameplay at the moment, there are a few things I want to change, I would like to see changed, and that would be the amount of service beacons I get, and I genuinely go and try and help people, okay? Because, you know, not everyone wants to lose their gear. People get gear fear. I don't care about it. But the fact that I would start my journey and I'd say in all chat, right, I'm on my way, don't worry, you know, I'll be there as soon as I can, and then they cancel that beacon is infuriating. I'd like to see that if you activate a service beacon because you want help, you can't cancel it for 10 minutes, because I waste a lot of time travelling to places and then people cancel because they have zero patience, and it's infuriating for a medical gameplay loop. I think there should be a minimum of a 10-minute wait, especially in Stanton. If we're in Pyro or somewhere like that, I get it. That would change things drastically, but for now I think that is a tweak that needs to come in, because it can be very infuriating, you know, travelling to the other side of it. If I'm at Crusader and I'm on my way to Microtech, then somebody cancels that medical beacon, that is infuriating, because I'm trying to help people, right? That's why I bought this ship. So that's something I would like to see changed, if I'm being honest. Anyway, right, let's discuss the internals of the ship. So at the back and the rear we have this ramp, and here we can store vehicles like the Mule PTV. You will get a Grey Cat rock in here. I don't see any issue with that. So you can go rock mining with this ship, which opens up the versatility of the Cutties in general is fantastic, right? So you can get rock mining done, you can get your cargo refactor done with your Mule in here. It's not a problem at all. It's very nicely lit, nice and clean edges. I've forgotten how good the Cutlass is, and I really feel like I should highlight it more. I've sort of forgotten how awesome it was, and like I said, the first time I walked into the back of this ship, put a smile on my face, because it just brought back all the nostalgia. So it's very well laid out, this ship, internally. So you will get vehicles in there, 12 SCU. Moving on from there, then we get the medical bed. We have 2 of those, and you can see in the background we also get an extra 2 beds, which is pretty useful for numerous reasons that I can think of. Let's pretend that we've got 2 casualties right now that we're trying to treat, and we've got 2 medical staff on board. They're going to need to stay somewhere or sleep somewhere or log in or log out. So that was a nice touch. That means you could provide care for your patients 24/7 if needs be until you reach your destination. You know, that is a nice touch as well. So we have the 2 beds there. Adjacent those we can see the airlocks for easy access or patient transferal. I'm kind of dubious about that. I don't like the idea of slinging patients out the side of the ship, but that's what they're there for. Also, they're pretty useful entry points if you are EVAing as well. So it's nice and simple, 2 beds in there and then 2 extra beds. So in theory you can actually hold a contingent of Marines in here if you wanted to. 2 on the medical beds, 2 on the beds there, 2 in the pilot's seat, and 2 in the other beds in the habitation area. You could do sneaky pirate missions if you wanted to, posing as a friendly medical ship, let's say, if you're that way inclined. So there are options there. There's plenty of gameplay to be had with the Cutlass Red. Moving on from there, then we reach the habitation area. We have the 2 storage bins on the left there, 4 gun racks, and again another 2 beds. The toilet is also located under that turret with the scanning dishes and the searchlight. I think they need to move that searchlight, because to operate it you'd have to stand on the toilet, which makes no sense to me. So that searchlight needs to be moved somewhere else, and I think probably on top of the cockpit where the co-pilot could operate it, or even the pilot could take control of that searchlight and direct that, because where it's sat on that dish right now, it's not feasible in my mind at least. So that needs to move. That's my only complaint with it. But it is very spacious in here. There's plenty of room for your 2 crew members, or even 4. You could get 4 in here, no issue. It's just the storage that you might be fighting over. So it's very nice in here, very clean, very sort of minimalistic as you would expect from Drake. We've got the classic yellow that they sort of throw around their interiors quite a lot. And then forward of that we have the cockpit area. Again, I've already said I'm a pretty big fan of how spacious it is. We have the double stack system, so pilot in the front, behind him will be your co-pilot or your second medic or a doctor or someone like that. That'd be awesome. You'll notice that it's also covered in these sort of cushions, which is good. You don't want to be thrown around and knocking yourself out, although knocking yourself out on this ship wouldn't be a bad place to do it, right? So it's really cool. There's a lot of detail in here. If you look at the stenciling in the flooring and the lights, for the random engineering panels. No idea what they'll do. Hopefully we'll get more information on that as engineering progresses in the game. But it is a very nice interior, very crisp, clean and clear, and I like it. And that's the sort of vibe you get from Drake. There's no nonsense here. Okay guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to discuss the various components that you will find if you buy this ship for the very first time. So we'll take a look at its stock loadout. Okay, so let's bring up our vehicle loadout manager. We'll go to the Drake Cutlass Red, like so. We'll make sure that picture's not all buggy and horrible. And we'll start off with the 2 coolers. We do get 2, and the ones you'll find equipped with this ship are size 2 grade 3 industrial from Juno Starwalk. Fairly standard stuff. I don't change them. I haven't changed anything on this ship. The only thing I've flirted with is the QT drive, and I went back to the original. Power plant, we get a Diligence, which is a size 2 grade 3, also industrial. It needs to be quite a beefy power plant, obviously, because you have life support systems online, and if your power plant goes, then your patients die. So it's important to have that as a correct component in your ship. Quantum drive, we get the Bolon, has excellent range. It's not the fastest, but I think range is key over speed. In my experience, that could change. I'm still toying with the idea of changing that at the moment. And then for the shield generator, we only get 1, but it is a size 2, and it's a grade C industrial from Basilisk, if that's how you say that word. So yeah, fairly good stuff. Combat wise, we lose a turret. Okay, the turret's gone compared to the Cutlass Black, for example. We have 4 gimbaled size 2 Badgers. This ship, although not a combat ship, is more than capable of taking on targets. You can still put out a significant amount of DPS with the Badgers, so up to you if you want to change those to size 3 fixed. I have no need to change them, honestly. I've been not fighting with this ship as much as I would anything else, so it can handle itself, is what I'm trying to say. And of course we do get the turret, which has the Nav-E Echo scanner on it, so that's where you've lost your turret, is in the top there. So what we'll do now to wrap this video up is, of course, we'll do our walk around and tour so that you can get a sense of scale and admire it a bit more up close and personal, and we'll go over some of the additional features that I think are cool about this ship. Okay guys, here we are on a landing pad above Area 18. I do like these landing pads to review the ships on because they offer a lot of light. The high up is just nice. Okay, so as you can see, we have a tricycle landing gear system. We have the big prominent gear at the front located underneath the cockpit. Then we have the 2 at the back. The ship is currently configured in VTOL mode, hence why the engines are down. We have numerous lights in and around the ship, which make it look super cool. I also like that sort of bull bar located on the front. That also has 2 lights on it. Then we have the sort of, I don't want to say arms, but I also don't want to call them wings. I think we'll have to go for arms. We have the 2 arms with like these giant fins. It has an excellent paint scheme, this Cutlass Red. I really enjoy the paint scheme. You can buy additional paint schemes if you wish, but I actually just like the stock look for this, with the rescue next to the air dock. Moving towards the rear of the ship, of course, we have these humongous engines, again in the VTOL configuration, pointing directly down. They are very useful for landing on planets that are having a weather tantrum, so do use them where you need to land and pick up patients. It does make the ship more stable. 2 buttons at the back located under the ramp. They were recently added, I believe. Previously you had to click on the door itself, so that's a nice touch. 2 entry points, 2 buttons there, and of course the ramp. More rescue signatures written all over the ship, which is nice. Again, coming around to the other ginormous engine, so it's very cool. And obviously Having the lights, the flashy lights, is very cool. The Cutlass Blue does have them as well, which also makes that ship very cool. I do want to pick up a Cutlass Blue at some point, maybe just to review. I have the Avenger Stalker at the moment, but I would like a Cutlass Blue as well, because it's got the quantum dampening effect attached to that ship as well, which is very nice. We have the other airlock, the other arm, various antenna. So it does look like a space ambulance, right? Aesthetically, in my eyes, you immediately recognize that someone is coming to help you. As I said, the only problem I've had with medical gameplay at the moment is just the cancellation is extremely annoying. Located under the arms then we get 2 of the badges and then 2 on top of the ship itself, and moving through towards the rear there's nothing really to mention. So what we'll do is navigate our way around the back. I'm not going underneath the ship because last time I did that I got stuck and killed. So we'll go the long way around just to be safe. Ramp drops down. And in we go. So we make our way in and we're greeted by the vehicle bay, your cargo area, 12 SCU. I love how simplistic the Drake ships are. It's really refreshing. You know, when you hop in Origin ships or any other manufacturer, Aegis, it's nice in the sense that it's so simplistic. Very well lit in here. Various crash pads located in the ship, you know, in case to prevent injury of that sort of nature. We have the airlock. Again, very nicely lit, and the paint scheme transfers into the internals of the ship as well, which I feel is a nice touch. And it wouldn't be a Drake ship without something being painted orange. Very construction, industrial vibe you get from this. We have a system panel here. I really do hope that they implement all of these engineering panels, if they are engineering panels. Just things to tinker with would be excellent. Then, of course, we move into the medical area of the ship, and we have the 2 beds. And it looks like someone's had an X-ray here, and I can confirm that that is human. And it's probably me, because you'll note that there's no brain inside that skull. So yeah, we know that works. Again, very nicely lit in here. We have the 2 airlocks, and then we have these beds, which you used to be able to respawn here. That's recently been taken away, which is kind of annoying, I have to admit, but I still like the beds. You know, they are going to heal things that the med pen can't. They also replenish your dehydration and your hunger, which is extremely useful. Again, I've been using it for bunker missions. You can go from bunker to bunker in this ship, racking up the cash monies. Then we have the 2 beds, which I previously mentioned. I think would be good for 24-hour care if you had people that were wounded. Maybe this bed doesn't fix it. Maybe you need a bed at a hospital or a space station, or maybe you need to transfer them to a carrack for proper healing. At least you can give 24-hour care with the 2 beds there. Have the airlocks which open, and that would open. You have to go in to open it. But I'm not going to do that, because the last time I did, it killed me. So you will go up to here and this will open. But for now, I'm leaving it shut because I don't want to die of death just outside the Cutlass Red. How infuriating would that be? So we'll shut that. And then we have a little sign here. Rapid decompression without proper protective wear can lead to serious and sometimes fatal hazards. That's just a posh way of saying don't forget your helmet. Right, so let's move on to habitation. Again, more wall padding, some more storage on the left. You'll take a right. This is the toilet area, and this is the dish above it, and this is I believe that's the searchlight thing. I just don't like it on the toilet. There's a handle there, and the toilet does fold down. I don't want to be standing on a toilet operating the searchlight. We have a sink in there too, so that would double up for washing your hands in case you touch any contaminants. So it's good that it's there. I just don't like the fact that the searchlight is operated on top of a toilet. That's crazy. Then we have the 2 beds here, again for the crew members, and we have emergency supplies and a first aid treatment thing. Some more, they look like storage bins, these things here, but I don't think they actually work. Then we have the 4 gun racks here. 2 for the pilot, 2 for the co-pilot, or if you're soloing, then bunker missions, you can slap some more in there, get some more money when you sell them back to the shop. Some more storage bins with 0.24 SU, thermal sealed as well, so pretty posh storage bins. Here is where we can transfer stuff off of our person directly into the ship itself. So very nice, very cool. I do really miss my Cutlass Black now. I know I've got this, but just so much nostalgia coming back. Co-pilot seat, so we'll hop in here. Up we go. And we're treated to a fairly respectable view. There's only 2 struts really running down the front of the cockpit, but the co-pilot will have access to various systems that you would expect: shields, weapons, target lock, radar, all that good stuff. Maybe you land somewhere hot and your pilot gets injured, you can fly the ship from here as well. So it's a very useful feature. And again, I really do appreciate the double stack system. I think it's a great system. So we'll come out of this, and then it does throw you out pretty violently. We have some more system access panels here. And of course, I love how those lights flash into the cockpit. That's a nice touch. And then we have the pilot seat here. If I can get in it. Nice leather stitching. Does look like a very comfortable seat. It's a HOTAS system. You'll notice there in that animation that the throttle actually folds out to you from the cockpit via this beam here, which is really cool. I like that. That is a really nice touch, very unique, I feel. So it's a great ship. The Cutlasses are superb ships. There's a lot of love for them in and around the verse for good reason. Visibility wise, yeah, the struts can be a little bit frustrating, but being able to land with this clear view, priceless, especially for a medical ship. So there we go, guys. That was my video on the Cutlass Red. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I just wish there was a few tweaks to medical gameplay. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed today's video, you know what buttons to press. And I, of course, will have more Star Citizen content en route to your location very soon. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Take care. Cheers.